For decades, Victoria Beckham has been known for keeping quiet. She's the woman who went from pop star to fashion boss without ever letting the world see her lose it. While newspapers chased drama, she became amazing at saying nothing. But one night in London, that silence ended and the world stopped. It was supposed to be just another fancy party with flashing cameras, champagne, and famous people wearing diamonds. Victoria was on stage, calm as always, giving an award to a young designer. But halfway through her speech, something changed. Her voice got harder. She put her hand on the stand, looked straight at a reporter in the crowd, and said 7 words that nobody expected. "I kept quiet too long. People need to know what she did." The room went completely silent. No name was said. None was needed. Everyone knew exactly who she meant. Meghan Markle. Within minutes, someone's phone video of that moment went online. 11 seconds long. By morning, it had over 4 million views. Comment sections filled with shock. Victoria Beckham just destroyed Meghan Markle's perfect image in one sentence. The woman who built a career on being quietly classy had finally decided to talk. And that single line felt like the start of something way bigger, something years in the making. Because this wasn't some random fight. It was the story of friendship, backstabbing, and silence that went on way longer than anyone knew. When Meghan Markle first joined the royal world, Victoria Beckham was one of the very first people to welcome her into British high society. Meghan was new to the UK, a Hollywood actress trying to fit into one of the most old-school circles on the planet. And Victoria, she knew exactly how mean the British press could be. So, she did something rare. She reached out personally. She sent Meghan her private contact list, names of stylists, PR people, and even private spa owners who worked with the list clients. She wanted Meghan to have a safety net, someone who understood the pressure of being famous. Soon, the two women were seen together laughing at Wimbledon, whispering during matches like old friends. Victoria even sent pieces from her fashion line straight to Kensington Palace for Meghan's fittings. People inside the fashion world said Victoria didn't have to do any of this. She chose to because she wanted Meghan to feel supported. At first, it looked like the beginning of a powerful team, the Hollywood Duchess and the British fashion queen. Meghan praised Victoria's designs in interviews, and Victoria's team quietly celebrated having royal approval. For a while, it seemed perfect. Mutual respect, shared glamour, and friendship built on trust. But behind that perfect surface, something was already starting to break. By late 2019, rumors began to spread in London's media circles. Meghan, it was said, had become suspicious. Someone close to her had leaked private details to the press, things that only her inner circle could have known. No one was named, but gossip spread like crazy. And soon, one name kept coming up again and again. Victoria Beckham. To most people, it sounded ridiculous. Victoria had protected her own privacy for decades. Why would she ever risk it? But to Meghan, the leaks felt personal. According to insiders, she began cutting people off quietly. No confrontation, no explanation, just distance. And Victoria, she suddenly found herself frozen out. Invitations to royal dinners stopped. Texts went unanswered. The woman who had opened her fashion world to Meghan was now being treated like an outsider. By the time Meghan and Harry officially stepped back from royal duties, the Beckhams were gone from their circle completely. No more public appearances together. No more friendly photo ops. Just silence. Cold, heavy silence. For years, both women said nothing. The tabloids guessed. The internet guessed, but neither side confirmed the truth. Victoria kept her head down, focused on her fashion empire. Meghan moved to California and built her new life in Hollywood. And for a while, it seemed that this quiet distance would stay buried forever until that night at the party when Victoria looked straight at the cameras and decided the silence had protected the wrong person long enough. The public reaction from Victoria's words would have been enough to start drama. But then came the charity story. Victoria had been preparing a children's hospital fundraiser, a project she was deeply invested in. Meghan was supposed to co-host, bringing royal attention to raise millions, but according to insiders, Meghan told the organizers Victoria's name didn't fit with the royal vision. An email later came out supposedly from one of Meghan's assistants. It read, "Per Duchess's request, please consider different fashion sponsorship. Concerns have been raised about brand fit and outside press stories." Within weeks, Victoria's name disappeared from the event posters. She had already spent months planning, donating designs, and paying early costs herself. Suddenly, she was cut out without warning or thanks. A friend of Victoria said she was embarrassed. She gave her time and her name for free, only to be told she was too business-focused to stand next to a duchess. For Victoria, that was the moment the backstabbing stopped being personal and started feeling mean. Day after Victoria's words went viral, her husband made his own move. David Beckham posted a simple photo. Him, Victoria, and their kids laughing around a dinner table. No captions, no hashtags, just one sentence beneath it. Truth always comes out in the end. It was subtle, but everyone knew what it meant. It wasn't just a family picture. It was a statement. Other celebrities followed quietly. A supermodel friend of Victoria's commented 3 heart emojis. A designer reposted the picture on their story with the words, "Some people mistake kindness for weakness." Meanwhile, Meghan's powerful circle went completely silent. No tweets, no Instagram likes, not even polite statements of support. Oprah silent. Serena Williams silent. Even Prince Harry, usually the first to defend Meghan, said nothing. Photographers caught him at the airport, head down, face tight. That silence spoke louder than any interview could. For years, Meghan had been seen as untouchable, the woman who stood against the royal system, the brave duchess who told her truth. But now, her silence was being understood differently. Every minute she stayed quiet, Victoria looked stronger and Meghan looked guiltier. One fashion editor wrote, "Victoria Beckham has built a career on elegance and control. If she's finally speaking, something broke her." And that line captured the mood perfectly because this wasn't a publicity stunt anymore. This was something real. Years of friendship turned into heartbreak. Professional trust turned into backstabbing. And 2 powerful women standing on opposite sides of the same secret. Victoria's message was clear without her ever needing to say it directly. You can only protect the wrong person for so long. Just when people thought the story couldn't get any bigger, a new shock hit. Late one night, a short 14-second audio clip showed up online. In it, a woman's voice, calm but sharp, said, "She's lucky I don't say what I know about her." No name was mentioned, no background. But the person who posted it claimed the voice belonged to Meghan Markle and that she was talking about Victoria Beckham. Within hours, the clip had over 6 million views. The internet exploded. Some said it was fake. Others swore it was real. Even Meghan's most loyal fans went quiet. One fan account deleted their pinned tweet supporting her and replaced it with only one line. "If that audio is real, I don't know what to say anymore." Victoria didn't post a single word. She didn't deny. She didn't attack. But someone close to her told reporters she was disappointed but not surprised. Those 5 words, "but not surprised," hit like a lightning bolt. They painted a picture of a woman who already knew how far the backstabbing might go and who had chosen class over drama. Then came the rumor that changed everything again. Stories spread that Victoria Beckham was thinking about a sit-down interview. Not a party speech, not a tweet. A full long-form interview, her first ever to directly talk about Meghan Markle. A close friend supposedly told a journalist she feels like people only know half the story. She's ready to tell the rest. Those words were enough to send Meghan's PR team into panic mode. Insiders said there were emergency calls, crisis meetings, even talks of possible legal action. All before Victoria had said a single new word, but the damage was already done. Every hour that passed, Meghan looked smaller in the story, and Victoria looked stronger. The quiet, wronged woman who finally decided not to protect the wrong person anymore. Even Hollywood insiders began to admit what many had whispered for years. When Victoria Beckham is done with you, doors close fast in this town. By the end of the week, the story had gone far beyond fashion or gossip. It became something bigger about truth, silence, and the price of backstabbing. Victoria's fans flooded her Instagram comments with messages like, "Proud of you for speaking your truth." Real class never needs a microphone. She didn't respond to any of them. She didn't need to. Her silence had already said everything. And then came the quote that sealed her place in this story. When a reporter asked why she finally spoke after so many years, Victoria said quietly, "I stayed quiet because I thought it would protect everyone. But all it did was protect the wrong person." It was a line that echoed across every headline. Simple, powerful, final. Meanwhile, Meghan's camp still had no public answer. No denial, no explanation, not even a no comment. And the longer that silence lasted, the more people began to believe Victoria's side of the story. David Beckham's mysterious caption, "Truth always comes out in the end," suddenly felt like a prediction. Because this time, the truth wasn't coming from a tabloid or a rumor. It was coming from a woman who had stayed silent through decades of fame, scandal, and pressure until someone pushed her too far.